Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Come on in. Don't be shy. Right now, Cred's getting ready, so he'll be a few more minutes. So feel free to stumble on in. What's up, Tiltev? It's a nice pooch. Alright, let me just fix some last minute things. Dum, 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 dum. Who's Fred? Alright. Ooh, let me put some background music actually, that's a good idea. Hey, this beat is the shit. What's up, Shivy? What's up, everybody? Just gonna fix the volume on this first. Nice and low. Boom. Let me know if the music is just loud enough or not. TV. No music. What's up, Nate Bag? How you doing, man? Long time no see. What's up, Elective Set? TV. Welcome to Bagsy TV. Thank you for the follows. Just Fred's beautiful voice. Okay. Fine. I'll turn it down. So, are you guys bullish on Bitcoin? Hey, are you bearish? What's it looking like to you guys? How are you guys feeling about this? Hey, what's up, Tori? Yo, I'm good, Nate Bag. Even better now that you're here. I've been using Exo's trading levels since he posted a script yesterday, I believe. It's pretty cool, actually. So if you want to know the daily, monthly, weekly opens, all that, Trader Exo just put a wait, what? Hold up. hold on, guys. I think I'm in a different hangout than Cred for some reason. Hold up. Hold on, Cred, I'm coming. All right, I'm gonna send you a new one. Sorry, 1 second, everybody. Sorry, everybody, just 1 minute. Trying to set up hangouts. For some reason, I went into a hangout with him, but we're in different hangouts, so it doesn't make sense. The perfect day for that to happen too, right? Yeah, Nightbot's killing it. All right. Hello? Hey, Cred.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, sorry about that, man.
I was gonna say, if you invite me to your fucking show, might as well be here on time, right?
You're absolutely right. How you doing? How was your night?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, shit. To be honest,
Oh.
you know what? Let me fucking turn off this. Actually, no, it's fine. Yeah, my mate bailed on me, which was obviously inexcusable. Um, so I didn't. I just fucking stayed. I mean, I went downstairs for some food, but
Hmm.
yeah, the whole drinking, whatever fun bank holiday weekend shit did not materialize whatsoever fucking ever.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I was wondering because you were
Ain't that
putting
some
up some
bullshit?
charts. Hmm?
I was gonna say that's some bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like you posted a chart about an hour ago. I was like, damn, does he bring his laptop everywhere he goes? Yeah, Nate says, Credsy, love.
Yeah,
Everyone's saying
fucking
hello.
laptop at the bar.
Exactly. Drawing out your levels.
It's the
Crypto.
best way to pick up girls at the bar.
Actually, I've never seen it done, so I wouldn't know. Are you good with the ladies? I've always been meaning to
Me neither,
ask.
bro.
Hmm.
Um, it depends, man. Depends
Hmm.
on the circumstances. In a club, no. In a
Hmm.
more social, open setting, yeah, mate, I've got the chat.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I've always been a
What about
potato.
you? Where are your strengths and weaknesses?
It's a really good question. I
No
think
way.
I think I'm a bit goofy, so to some people it might appeal. Overall, I don't know. I like people, so that kind of helps.
Right.
Yeah. Some people are just complete, I guess, introverts,
I
and
mean, aren't you in a relationship?
I am. You're getting straight to the meat of things, aren't you? Yes, I'm in an
No,
open
we'll
relationship.
have
Yeah.
plenty of time for that, mate.
I feel like you're gonna
Yeah, you're in an
dissect
open
me.
relationship.
You're like the doctor
I mean, it's
before
an
the
interesting topic,
operation.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. Like fucking Thoreau went at me the other week for it was fun. Are you currently seeing anybody? If you don't mind
Yeah,
me
how'd that
asking.
go?
Hmm.
But no, not at the moment. I don't know why I had to think about that. No, the answer's no.
Yeah. Your list of criteria, like, are we technically seeing each other or not? Hmm. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, the fucking seriousness checklist. No, no,
Hmm.
I'm not, mate. It's all about me right now.
Fair enough. So, for for those in chat, this is Crypto Cred. He needs no introducing.
Hey
It's a
you,
pleasure to
welcome to
have you
Bags
on.
of
First of
TV.
all, can you like give a quick intro? How did you get into the space or all that jazz, if you don't mind?
Ah, it's fucking boring, man. Fuck that. Who
Okay,
cares?
okay. I don't know for the new people on stream, but
Like, does anybody actually care about the whole fucking backstory?
I guess not. I guess people care more like the man behind the avatar, but that's I don't know how deep I can prod on that.
They'll be okay without it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Of course you can. You can fucking ask anything you want. It's just the whole backstory shit's bullshit, right?
Hmm.
We all got here at random fucking times and stupid fucking circumstances. You know, I'd rather be judged by my work now and what I do now as opposed to, what happened 2, 3 years ago, whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, like lately you've been putting out a lot of video content, a lot of content on your Telegram and all that. Have you found yourself more motivated to do that now, or has it always been so?
It comes and goes, man.
Hmm.
I mean, really early on, like back in the day type of thing, I'd be just a fucking, I'd be beasting it.
Hmm.
It was something I wanted to do. I went out of my way to do. I would look for any excuse to write, record, whatever. Um, Nowadays, it kind of ebbs and flows. Like I'll have a moment where I want to really write an article, and then I start writing it, and I fucking hate it. Takes me
Hey
three
you,
times as
welcome to
long as it
Bags of
should have,
TV.
and then when I publish it, I feel good. Same with Telegram. Some days I'll just have a lot to say and a lot on my mind, and I'll share all of it. And other days, I
Hey
might
you,
be
welcome to
thinking
Bags
and
of TV.
processing those same things, but the last thing I want to fucking do is sit there and type it out to a bunch of strangers.
Hmm.
But I think it's just general content fatigue has got a lot to do with it. Um, I've covered a lot of ground in the last couple of years or whatever it's been. And also, it's important to note that I try never to make asinine videos. in the sense that really basic shit or shit that I don't trade or don't understand myself, or kind of self-evident stuff, all the kind of things that common sense, like telling people, oh, top 10 trading rules, don't FOMO, have a plan, like all that kind of nonsense, which is kind of filler content. I never do. If I make something I think is genuinely valuable and it's like a serious piece of work, and everything else I leave to the fucking goons on Twitter to fight over the scraps.
That's a good point. Like everything you do is from the heart and it's actually deep. I think that's why your content's better than most of what's out there, is because you actually go into it and you really like you break down what it is in a simple way. So that's, I think, what people appreciate a lot. But overall,
yeah, I value my own time and value my viewers' time as well. So I'm not gonna fucking litter them with stuff they can find anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you find that sharing your content on Telegram and stuff, do you find it kind of makes trading more challenging in any way?
Yeah, it fucks with me. When I live traded like
Mm-hmm.
last summer, like just over a year ago in Telegram, it was fucking hideous. I hated it, and
Hey you,
it showed on
welcome
my
to Bags to
performance. The kind of trades I was taking, the frequency of trades I was taking, the time frames on which I was taking them. It was just all out of fucking whack. Having an audience there watching you just completely fucks with you. You win a trade and everyone's like, "Oh my god, you're a legend." You get all this fucking praise, endorphin rush nonsense. But at the same time, people who weren't there for the trade will DM you being like, "Oh, your call worked out so well. I hope I can be there for the next one." There's the added risk of me knowing that these people don't know how to manage fucking risks. So there's a good chance that dozens, for example, of people will get wrecked if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong on my account, I'll lose whatever 1 or 2%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, no one knows how you're managing the trade yourself. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I find it hard as well.
I was very kind of transparent about. But I mean, the winning bit is fine. The losing bit is fucking terrible. Because then you're just constantly thinking, I just had a losing trade. Everyone thinks I'm shit. People just lost money, and you're kind of itching to basically get into another trade and make up for your loss, which is an awful way to trade, obviously. And you feel guilty and all this shit. Like, yeah, no, it was terrible. Live trading in Telegram was fucking terrible. And even nowadays, if I publish like a really detailed analysis in Telegram of a certain level or an entry trigger above a certain structure, I posted in BitDealer's thread earlier when he said, what are some things you struggle with? And for me, if I really publicly analyze the shit out of something, my execution goes through the fucking window. it just doesn't. I struggle with it. I don't know what it is, whether it's the perceived weight of other people are going to be taking this trade based on my analysis, or I second guess myself because it's just so public. Whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't yield good results. Yeah, just the extra scrutiny in general. So yeah, I'd say on Telegram, I much prefer doing the educational side of things. I understand the need for live trading stuff, or at least kind of direction-based stuff, which I do. I'm very clear about it when I do it. Even on Twitter, where if I post stuff, it'll mostly be, it won't be, if it hits this level, it'll go up if it goes higher, and if it goes, it'll go down if it goes lower. I mean, fucking obviously it will, right? So I try to, again, just like the videos, I'll try to post content that I hope will actually add something, and it's not shit that people can figure out for themselves just coming from a big account, right?
Man, all good points. Do you? I've noticed BitDealer's been in the space for a while. Is he part of like the crew or whatnot, the UK crew, or is he a trader from elsewhere?
God, no, I think he's an American bloke.
Oh shit. Okay.
A while, yeah, I think so. I think from his videos, he's an American bloke. I don't know. I mean, not the UK crew that I kind of chill with, but even then, man, these kind of crews and cliches and cliques, whatever the fuck the English is, they don't really exist. I think a lot of people, and I certainly had this when I was new, they think that like all these big accounts fucking just congregate in one space and manipulate shit and jerk each other off, and all the big stuff happens in the background. It really doesn't work that way. In most cases, there are fucking 20 Telegram rooms and 10 Discord channels with like fucking 50 people overlapping all over the place, and it's just a mess. Oh my god, fucking Bitcoin just mooned to 10.8. Oh,
what?
Delicious.
Get out of here.
I told you, mate. I fucking. I'm gonna actually have a rant about this fucking Bitcoin thing in a moment as well. Um. Oh, there we fucking go. Christ. You know what, Bagsy?
Mm-hmm.
This is the second time this shit has happened now. Okay, and it's not frustrating or anything. So what will happen is price will hit daily support, right? So
Mm-hmm.
price will hit an area. The way I trade, I've delineated as support, and I will tweet that price is at daily support. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what usually fucking happens is that in the lead up to that, the intraday price action is either very choppy or there's a big fucking red candle that actually takes the price to that daily level,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I've noticed when that shit happens, and the same happened when I said that, I'm gonna long above 9.7 into, and then we went to kind of 10, 10, whatever the fuck it was. I think we went really high there, past 11. But basically, I will tweet the prices at daily support after some really bearish intraday price action, and I'll notice that the engagement on the tweet is fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with the chart. The time I've posted it and like the way I've analyzed it, is it simple? Like the tweet is fine, but I noticed because I've been doing it for long enough that the engagement is just god fucking awful.
It's the
And I
context.
was, I was discussing it with some friends at the bottom, in like a Discord. I was like, this is a pretty bullish sign because my guess is all these people shorted this because at the time there was like a big bearish hourly engulfing candle
Mm-hmm.
that led price to the daily support. And I was just saying to my friends in Discord, I'm thinking that fucking half my followers must have shorted that candle with a stop above it, and I've just told them they're short into support, and that thing is going to get engulfed. And lo and behold, what fucking happened? That was kind of near the bottom or where price bounced.
Mm-hmm.
Same fucking shit this time around. I posted that we're at daily support
Mm-hmm.
because it's a fucking daily support level, right? The logic is really clear.
Yeah.
And then on Twitter, like some of the comments were pretty bad, but especially privately, like in Discords and some other places, I was basically treated like fucking Stevie Wonder drawing on a line chart, as if like, we're about to shit $2,000. And that kind of shit always makes me really cautious. When really basic levels, people pretend they aren't there, they're usually gonna fucking work, you know?
Okay, so you care. From what I feel from this, you look a lot more at the daily than higher time frames for what you're looking at currently. The daily is very important.
Yeah, I consider the daily to be a high time frame. I use the daily for my directional bias stuff. I do on the
Mm-hmm.
weekly as well, but with something like directional bias, which informs my intraday positions, setups, management, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
you need to pick a fucking time frame that will give you a directional bias often enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you only get your directional bias off a weekly chart, how many
Not many.
trades are you really going to get that are
Mm-hmm.
confluent with a directional bias? Not that fucking many,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a bit of a balancing act, and for me, the daily's done a great job for that, as it did in this case.
Very cool. I was watching a bit of Donald's stream earlier, and he was breaking down Bitcoin. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he said that he felt like he would not short support because that goes against his rules. However, he felt that there was like overall weakness in the level. So it's always interesting to see different perspectives from people I respect in the space. And yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I made the observation that, and I even commented it on my fucking chart before we did this stupid moon move. I said, what's been happening on the daily is that the levels are really fucking clear. The structures are really clear. It's just price has been spending a bit more time than usual at those levels before the move actually comes through. But if
Yeah.
it's being respected on a closing basis, at least the way I trade, I'd be a fucking idiot for shorting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd literally have to write in my journal, shorted daily support with a stop above God knows where. It's not fucking risk defined, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to you have to fucking justify to myself on my weekend review that I shorted that level, that, same support as it was last time, and also respected on the closing basis that it was last time. There's no trade there.
Mm-hmm.
And the second point about, people were commenting, oh, there were essentially two arguments made, but it's two arguments in one. They were essentially saying, but we've spent so long at this level, at this daily level we were at. Haven't you argued that the level gets weaker with each touch, or the
Mm-hmm.
longer we spend at the level? That's really stupid for two reasons. One is because they weren't
Thank
really
you.
swing
Welcome back to
touches. If we're
TV.
talking about
Mm-hmm.
levels getting weaker from consecutive tests, yes, consolidation at a level can be a sign of that. But if you want evidence of exhaustion of a level, you need it to fucking do something, right? Acts as significant resistance once, significant resistance twice, 3 times, etc. Then you can start carving out the case for that level being, beaten up. But if price is literally doing fuck all at the level and it's not price sensitive, why would you assume that it's becoming less fresh with every strike? It's not as persuasive an argument, right? And the second point is people have like a really weird time frame bias when it comes to daily levels. So if I delineate, I mean, I'm just looking at it now. We spent 1, 2, let's say 5 daily candles at the level before we pumped, right? Or at least when it came back to retest it on the fucking, what was it? 21st of August, 5 days ago. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days at the level, and we pumped today, right? So remember, that's 5 candles on a chart. Forget fucking time frames. That's 5 candles on a chart. Now, if we're dealing with GMT, forget British summertime. London will open. The London Open, like the Forex London Open or whatever, is at 7 in the morning, right? And then the New York Open is at noon. How many hours are there between 7 and 12, Bagsy?
7.
What?
Between
7 and 12. What's 12 minus 7, mate?
No, I'm sorry, 5. Sorry, I was doing something else.
No, it's all good. So essentially what I'm saying...
Welcome to Bagsy TV, everyone.
Welcome to Bagsy TV. But the point is, imagine I have an hourly level on the chart, right? I have a fucking hourly level, and price shoots into it at London Open, and breaks down from the level, at New York Open 5 hours later. Ignoring time frame, structurally, it would look the fucking same, right? You've got a level, you've got 5 candles at the level, and then you get the move in the anticipated direction. So what I'm essentially saying is there's no fucking difference between a daily level holding 5 candles and then giving the move, and then let's say an hourly level holding 5 candles and giving a move.
Okay.
But what you'll see is on the hourly level, no one will fucking flinch because it's intraday and they think that's normal. But on the daily, for some reason, everyone starts to think, oh, we've spent so long here, the level's clearly fucking tired and broken. When actually there's no fucking difference at all. It's just there's obviously a time frame difference between daily and how long it takes for that level to actually to treat the price action there as consolidation, as opposed to an intraday level. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So, you can't fucking treat a daily level and measure it by intraday timeframes. Just like you wouldn't do it the other way around either. Like 5 candles on an intraday chart, no one bats an eyelid. 5 candles on the daily chart, everyone fucking loses their shit. Whereas structurally, to me, that's the same thing,
I guess that comes down more to patience.
Yeah, it's patience, but also just being aware of what the fucking chart looks like, You'll have a daily level which is supposed to do its job over a period of days, and people are staring at it on the M15, being like, "Oh wow, this thing is getting really beaten up." I mean, it's fucking stupid, mate.
Yo, Thoreau wants to know: Did you trade long this candle, the daily? I don't know if that's something you share. Hey, what's up, Messiah?
This spike? No, mate. No, I fucking didn't. I mean, yes, clout. Yes, I did. At the very bottom was my long entry, and that wick we have is where I sold.
Have you been? Do you trade mostly Bitcoin and Forex, or do you mess a bit with Ethereum? And
yes. I haven't fucking touched altcoins. No. My fucking overwhelming majority of my stuff is the specific perpetual swap on BitMEX. I mean, ETH has been shitty, and the contract sucks. And altcoins just not my fucking cup of tea. Certainly not in this trend. So yeah, XBT is bread and butter, and it gives plenty. There's plenty of shit there to be trading, even in a range bound environment.
What kind of like trend would you play altcoins in, or what kind of environment? Because you said right now it's like not a good one. Is it? Do you mean like alt season?
Yeah, they've just been dying for fucking ages, man.
Okay, so you wouldn't bother shorting?
I don't think so, man. Just a lot of these alts have lost. Yeah. No, I mean the thing is, obviously in hindsight, that's like the play in 2019, right? You just short any altcoin ever on MEX and fucking enjoy. And I just kept telling myself, "Oh, you're a bit too late," and this, that, etc. I wasn't I wasn't on top of that.
Dude,
I don't think a whole lot of people were, to be honest.
fuck, I wasn't.
Most people I spoke to agree that it's the obvious play, and you could have just fucking held your TRX Ada shorts and shit. Yeah, you know, the people I was talking to Moon Overlord about this, talking to Don Alt about this, Gainsey, and all saying the same stuff about kind of reverse alt season, which is Moon Overlord's term, I think, where you just fucking short any of them and make money. But I didn't think I caught on time. It doesn't seem like that many people did, to be honest. I think we're so naturally conditioned to be long fucking biased on altcoins that the idea of doing the complete polar opposite is just unfathomable, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. Do you find that have you met any sociopath traders? Does that question make sense? Or
Probably is the
tendencies,
answer.
I guess. Probably. Okay.
Yeah, certainly. Narcissists, egomaniacs, sociopaths. Yeah, a lot of the. Yeah, I think trading attracts a lot of people like that. I mean, Twitter certainly attracts a lot more kind of on the narcissisty, egomaniacal side. But in terms of, yeah, the sociopathic tendencies, yeah, plenty. But obviously, I'm not a fucking psychologist. So I can diagnose them or tell them. But people you can tell are a bit slightly differently wired when it comes to the social shit. Yeah, man, absolutely.
Hey, you. Welcome to Bagsy TV.
Who do you find is one of the most socially adept on Twitter?
Honestly, I think that the ones I've met have all been very decent. But obviously, the flaw in that argument is kind of the selection bias, as in the people who are going to be willing to come out to these conferences and meet up with you, etc., are already more likely to be socially adept, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't fucking volunteer to come out in the first place. So that's a bit of a skewed data sample, if you will, to use. But yeah, no, everyone I've met, you know, your Donalds and your Looms, your crypto boys, and all that kind of stuff. We have a laugh. It's a good time. But I'm sure there are people on there. But obviously, there's a flip side of that, right? I'm sure there are people who I get along with really well on Twitter and social media and all that bullshit. But if I were to meet them in person, it'd be the most fucking awkward thing in the world, you know? Kind of works both ways, I imagine.
Yeah, it's funny seeing two people meet up and let's say they were assholes to each other online and they shake it out and give each other a hug. That's some wholesome stuff right there. It reminds me of Fungus.
Yeah, it's how the internet normally fucking works, right?
Yeah, when Crypto Fungus met Nye for the first time, that was fun.
Oh, I was there, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you were. But the first night, like when they hugged it out, that was cute. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, mate.
I was just gonna say, like,
I didn't have anything interesting to say.
Fuck, I gain a lot of joy from going to these things. I've only been to 2 so far. Have you been to? I imagine you've been to many more than I have.
I don't think so, mate. I went to World Crypto Con almost around this time last year.
Right.
That was quite. I mean, Vegas is a shithole. So I mean, whatever. You go once and you kind of see it, and you know, I didn't think I'm going back anytime soon. But that was the first time I'd actually met most of my friends. So you know, it was good for that reason. Consensus was fun, but again, Consensus was fun because it wasn't because Consensus was fun. It was because New York is a great fucking city and you get to spend time with your friends. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I don't fucking get. You get these like conferences and everyone on Twitter who's not there starts making fun of the conference itself. And it's like, dude, we're on your side. Nobody gives a fuck about the conference. The conference is shit. We're here to, you know, meet and have fun with friends. It's nothing to do with blockchain, this, that, etc. You know?
Yeah. And on the reverse, no one at the conference gives a fuck about Twitter really. So it's
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Venture Coinus, what's up, Luke? How you doing, man? Are you going to con again, Cred? I'll take that as a no.
Which con?
I guess the one in Vegas again in October.
Oh god, no, fuck Vegas. I'm not getting on an 11-hour flight just to go to fucking Vegas, the desert shithole again, mate. No chance. Unless they want to fly me out, in which case I'll consider it. But nah, I'm not on my own fucking dime, mate.
What don't you like about Vegas?
It's just a bit fucking artificial, decrepit, degenerate. I mean, it's fine, but I think kind of once you've been once, unless you're like a big gambler, there's really not much to either do nor see. And also, it's just fucking far away, man. If I'm gonna
Yeah.
fly 11 hours, I can think of 100 better places to go rather than Las fucking Vegas. You know.
Where's the next place you'd go right now if you wanted to? Like, pick a location.
I'd like to. Honestly, mate, I'd revisit New York. I don't
Really?
feel
Yeah.
I got enough time in New York. It was mostly Manhattan-y based bullshit. I'd love to spend, more time in Brooklyn and Brighton Beach, see my fellow Russians and all that kind of stuff. I think I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, New York's a great city. I've only been twice, but I can understand the appeal. Have you ever been to Chicago?
I've not. That's on my list for next year. Have you?
Yeah, a few times. It's so beautiful, man. I really recommend it. People say it's violent and everything, but just
Yeah, is it good?
yeah, to me, I really like architecture, so I can appreciate that kind of stuff. Um, Messiah wants to know your cred. When and why did you decide to make your
Fucking
brand?
nerd.
When did you make your brand Hyman Minsky?
Oh, yeah, it was really early on. It wasn't originally that. The original crypto cred avatar was just some fucking Bitcoin thing off of Google Images. But I would say within less than a month, it was Hyman Minsky. Why? Um, I don't fucking know, man. Everyone just seemed to have some sort of avatar that I
You
couldn't.
picked the first one on
It
Google
wasn't
search.
them. That was the
Hey
point.
you, welcome to Backseat
No,
TV.
no, no. I mean, I like Minsky. He's one of my favorite
Mhm.
economists.
Okay, nice.
And a lot of modern economists who build on his work, I'm a big fan of as well. So, I mean, I wasn't going to fucking pick John Maynard Keynes on crypto Twitter. So I thought,
Mhm.
fuck it, let's go with Minsky. He's got some cool stuff to say about capitalism and private debt and how stability is destabilizing. And I think he's in general a lot more persuasive than the neoclassical cunts and all the fucking Austrian monetarist bullshit. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it wasn't a totally random decision, but that that element of it was, yeah.
Do you read a lot into politics in the UK? Is that something that interests you?
Read.
Or participate?
I mean, it
I don't know.
hasn't for the last. No, participate. I mean, look, politics in the UK has fucking died in the last like 2 years or whatever since Brexit.
Mhm.
Because that's just all we've, all our resources, focus, debates, political fervor has just gone towards debating and managing and trying to fucking get through Brexit, which means the domestic political agenda is stalled completely. There's nothing going on. The international as well, outside of Brexit, it's fucking dead. It's just Brexit 24/7, and people are just fucking bored at this stage, and it keeps getting delayed as well. And yeah, there's just Brexit fatigue at this
Mhm.
point. So there isn't really much to be done on the political front unless you're very fervent about Brexit in either direction, which
Mhm.
I'm not. So it's kind of been a bit slow, man.
Okay. Do you see yourself sticking around the UK for the rest of your days, or do you plan on branching out at some point?
Listen, man. I mean, I'm open-minded,
Mhm.
but my family's here. My brother's pretty young. He's 6,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
definitely going to be here for a while he
Yeah,
grows
yeah,
up
yeah.
and shit. All my friends and this is essentially where I spent the second half of my life, and
Mhm.
it's still a democratically healthy, politically functioning type of fucking adept modern democracy, right? So I don't see any overriding reason to move away. I don't really give a shit about all the why don't you move to fucking I don't know
Mhm.
Malta or some shit for tax. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. It's whatever.
Man, I feel you. I I get it a lot that people kind of expect others to move on from where they've located or where they're from. But if you're happy
Yeah,
where you are, what's the point? I mean, sure, you could,
yeah, that's it.
doesn't mean you can't travel and go to places from time to time, but if you're good where you are and your environment's safe and healthy, just, milk it.
Are you happy?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I think I've become more happy over the last year. Absolutely. I
Hmm.
still, there are still some challenges in my life, but nothing that I can't handle. So, yeah. Are
Are they
you?
specifically Canada related or not?
My problems?
Yeah.
Canada related. Well, I don't have any like, I don't have any criminal problems, but
Warrants,
yeah,
yeah.
this is what this thing's for. But more family stuff that I can't change, and it's completely out
Yeah.
of my control. So sometimes in situations, like I'm someone I think who take I like to think I take responsibility for my actions and for like what I'm responsible for. But sometimes I have issues when something's out of my control and I can't do anything. It just tends to bother me. So I've been trying to let go a bit and still keep above water.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we only have so much our energy to worry about shit is very finite, and it might as well be directed towards things that we can change. And if we can't change them, I mean, good luck fucking changing other people, right? I mean, Christ, it's like Mission Impossible in most cases. Most people are just closed-minded, stubborn idiots. That's not true, but I think a lot of the people who it tends to be in life, the people whose minds you need to change tend to be the most stubborn. It's just the way the cookie tends to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if we're trying to direct to productive endeavors, I mean, change what's in your control, and if it's not, fucking leave it to someone else, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've wasted too much energy trying to change others, and eventually I caught on that it's impossible unless they really want to do it for themselves. And it's how do you say? It's kind of
Mate,
fruitless.
if you think that's tiring, why don't you try changing yourself for someone else? Now that is the most fucking exhausting thing in the world, and I do not recommend it.
Fuck. Was it a hard time?
Sorry, mate, you cut out for me real quick. What was that?
Oh, I said, was it a hard time, changing yourself for someone else?
Um,
Or was it kind of like a
yeah, I
natural
think it was.
process?
I think it was.
Okay, so it was wanted then.
Yeah.
Desired. Okay.
Well, thing is, you shouldn't. I don't think anyone. No, it wasn't. It was fucking artificial as fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was in the context of a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously in any relationship there's a give take kind of collaborative, constructive nature to it. Where little things you kind of you make concessions and all that kind of shit. I think that's normal and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's obviously a line where you cross from that to trying to change someone's character on a quite fundamental level,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where that's not really them anymore, if that makes any sense. And so that's kind of something that was happening for a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
but I was way too late in recognizing it for what it was, because the way it was made to appear to me was that I was doing a lot of stuff wrong and being
Right.
very unreasonable and kind of always at fault, whereas it was more kind of, well, this is who I am, and I can be otherwise, but then that's not really me. If you want that, that's maybe someone else is better suited. But I think that's one of those things that becomes really obvious in hindsight. But when you're in the moment, you just want to fucking fix your relationship, and
Keep it above
you'll
water.
you'll make concessions that you wouldn't otherwise.
Dude, I relate to you 100%, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially I'm
100%.
quite this is going to sound fucking absurd to anyone who follows me on social media, but in general, I'm quite a conflict averse person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's a way to avoid conflict or avoid a confrontation or avoid an argument or to diffuse it, I'll fucking take that route 10 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I mean, I know it sounds unbelievable given all the Twitter shit, but in the context of a relationship, you end up kind of giving a lot of ground by basically saying, okay, fuck it, have it your way, as long as we stop arguing or kind of move on from this topic, etc.
Mm-hmm. And then the more ground you give, the more you lose, and the more you feel like you may have like betrayed your own sense of self once you get to a certain point down the road. So,
yeah, and that's the worst fucking feeling.
yeah. Yeah.
Of course, but I got to a point where I didn't just if you get to the point that you've described, you at least still have a sense of yourself, and you're then able to subsequently identify that I've deviated or strayed too far from that. I got to a fucking point where I was like, Christ, I mean, what am I? Who am I? What are my fucking principles? You know, what the fuck's going on? So I kind of went a bit deeper down the rabbit hole than that, unfortunately. But, you know, there's a reason all of that is in the past tense.
Right. Do you feel that you've fully moved on?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Good. It took me a good 3 years from the last one.
3 fucking years.
I got a bit fucked up. But,
Huh.
yeah. But no, like, in between that 3 years, I was still sexually active, whatever. I was still kind of going out, but I just wasn't able to let anyone into my romantic life. It was just too war torn.
Sure.
And I met 2 really, really good girls. You know, when you meet girls, it 1 out of 10 might be someone special. I don't know what the odds are, but I met 2 in that time. And
Sure.
And later on, you kind of think like, well, what if? You know, what if I had tried that with one of them? Where would I be at now? But I don't know if that's been something for you too.
Well, you see, my last fucking relationship lasted for 4 years, and it was my first and so far only both relationship, but also serious relationships. I mean, 0% strike rate, my friends. Fucking 0% strike rate.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's an interesting question.
Go for it.
So you mentioned you got fucked up in that first relationship, right?
Right.
So the first relationship fucked you up. Was that an open relationship or not?
It was not. No. No, it wasn't. It was a closed relationship. It was a.
Sorry, man. I think I have some fucking audio bullshit.
Oh.
Are you alright now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So yeah, it,
right.
It was open. It was not open. Sorry.
Do you think that your propensity towards an open relationship now is as a result of your closed relationship fucking you up?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because what I did wrong was I found out that I was starting to become possessive and jealous of her, where in prior relationships, whatever, it was never something I had acquired, and I really hated what I had become. So when I got out of that, I was like, okay, well, first of all, let me fix everything that's fucked up in my life, alongside with work, gym, all that kind of stuff. And then once I get those elements in place and I meet someone, actually what happened, I met my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, and she was really great. She was one of those people that I met. I was like, damn, she's awesome. Same wavelength, all that. So I didn't want to completely let go of that. So I asked her if we could do an open relationship. She's like, that's stupid. What are you doing, Bagsy? And she actually asked her mom.
She's fucking right, my friend. You know that.
I don't know. We can discuss that. But she actually asked her mom, and her mom was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I was kind of taken aback because she comes from a more classical background. And yeah, we started seeing each other, and it's been close to like 3 years now. But
okay,
it's not for everyone. That's for sure. I tried it once before, and that was a nightmare.
That's for fucking sure.
Have you ever tried it?
I think chat's gonna fucking lose it if we don't talk about TA in the next 2 minutes. Are there any technical fucking chart questions or anything interesting that people want me to cover or us to discuss? Because otherwise we'll just go back to real life shit. But if there's some chart stuff, I'm happy to have a gander.
The Rose said, will you still let other guys liquidate her once you're married? Man. I don't know, man. That's an interesting question. Well, I think like once you're at marriage,
welcome to Bags.
But then again, I know some marriages that are still open that work out. So that's a great question. I don't know. I'll do whatever feels right. But yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding TA or anything that you think Craig could help with, feel free to drop it in chat. Everyone's like, Link, BTC, where's liquidity? Hey, what's up, Ace?
Yeah, man, I think...
Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, you. Welcome to Bagsy TV.
I don't have a fucking idea. Like right now, I knew we were at Daily Sport. I haven't exactly got a level screaming at me from where the wick, from the current high of the day is. We'll kind of see.
Do you want to share your screen?
I mean, this is
if it's a possibility.
Dude, there's literally fucking nothing on it. If you open the Bitcoin chart, no lines on it. That's what my chart looks like right now.
Gotcha.
This is what I'll do. It is exceptionally rare that I keep any lines on my chart whatsoever. Like 99.9% of the time, it's just blank. And it's only for either Twitter or Telegram, etc., that I kind of keep all the different shit on there just to give people a grounding. But even if I'm, in the middle of a trade or managing a trade, whatever, there's a really good fucking chance that aside from maybe one or two lines, that the chart is empty. And I don't know, that I feel like it works for me. I think it stops me from being biased in a certain way or falling in love with levels that might not be as good anymore. No kind of TA nostalgia, all of that shit. It's kind of keeping things fresh and keeping my eye on things that jump out. And especially, Bitcoin as a crypto, as a market generally loves recency when it comes to levels, structures, trend, all of that kind of stuff. So I think cleaning up charts and not getting too emotional or falling in love with old levels, old structures, etc., is quite a decent idea.
How long have you been looking at charts for bare naked charts with no lines or anything? Has that been since you started with price action, or is it something more recent?
Almost. Yeah. I think we all went. Well, at least I did. Back in the heyday, went through a kind of fucking cloud phase. Because obviously, before I stumbled upon Tom Dante's webinars and all the price action guys that kind of flowed as a natural consequence, you kind of learned your TA off what all the big accounts and whatever were doing on Twitter. And everyone was doing fucking cloud. And so I started doing fucking cloud. But then after the price action stuff, Tom Dante's webinars and other stuff, I kind of realized that the cloud wasn't really showing me anything that just the chart wasn't, right? There were no secrets. I just didn't feel it added anything. And if anything, sometimes obfuscated my view. So I went through like a middle phase where I do both just to cater to both audiences. People who followed me for cloud stuff, I do cloud stuff, but then for myself and slowly transition for my trading, I would just trade without it and work on a system that, didn't rely on cloud at all. And just gradually transitioned away from it. So from day one, no, pretty early on, yes. And I didn't kind of go cold turkey. I think I phased it out over 2 or 3 months or something.
What's the last thing you cut out from that? Was it RSI? Was it? I don't know what you were using.
Yeah, I think it must have been RSI. Thing is, I'll still sometimes peek at it just to see what's up. But it used to be a part of my system where I'd have divergence as a factor of confluence. I fucked around with using divergence and overbought, oversold levels for directional bias for a bit, but none of it really fucking stuck to the wall. And it just made having a system harder than it should have been. So I just fucking got rid of it.
Do you ever use fib retracements or extensions?
Extensions, no. Retracements, I used to a lot more again as a factor of confluence. For certain setups, but not anymore. I'll sometimes measure shit just to get a rough idea of how deep the dip is or how steeply we've, rallied into a level. In the study guide, there's a fucking really good chapter on fib and specifically what like so-called OTE actually is. So that's good. I used that for a bit, but no, nowadays, honestly, it's just a matter of, do I have a read on the daily chart or do I have a bias on the daily chart? If yes, what intraday setup will give me a trade in the direction of the bias, and that's most of it, man. So fibs, yeah, they're fine. They're good to give some context, and there are a couple of setups that you can use, which I haven't fucking taught, but they work really well with retracement levels and shit. But no, for my own personal trading, that got phased out as well. So indicator wise, RSI got the fucking bin, and then even price action type stuff and not indicator based. I used Fib for a bit, but also it was quite discretionary with Fib, to be honest with you. I never kind of made a big fucking song and dance about it, and so it was quite easy to forget, if you will.
Ace wants to know, how do we become not poor? Also, Cred, talk some Deribit options and a longer term play on them. Do you mess with options?
How do we become not poor?
And then
no, I have no meaningful, beyond the absolute basics, no meaningful understanding or education on options.
Okay. Hippie Dog, do you trade full time, Cred? What is trading full time, first of all?
You cut out for a bit there. Was that a trading full time question?
The thing, yeah. Do you trade full time, Cred? And my question is, well, what is full time to you?
Sorry, mate. My shit is really fucking buggy. I don't mind re-recording this in a bit. But did you ask?
Okay, yeah. So I asked
at the moment. Yeah. What is full time? At the moment, yeah. What is full time? Well, I mean, I guess it's defined as primary source of income, right? I think that's a reasonable definition.
Okay, fair enough. Ellie, have you ever studied any